I just have to be funnier than Johnny. That's the only like fucking level I have to deal with. Ow! So I tutor kids because I'm better than all of you. And not to sound like a serial rapist, but they say the darndest things. Yeah, you gotta think about it. Yeah, I was tutoring this little boy the other day, and he fucking blew my mind. Like, we were just sitting around, reading some Dr. Seuss, and he just starts talking real wild to me. I'm like, hey man, see how these words are rhyming? How the words work? And he's like, man, my mouth feels really weird. I was like, I'll hop on pop anyway. Because, like, kids say weird shit. That's their entire personalities. They just say odd stuff. So I'm reading this book to him, and he's just, like, fucking around with his mouth. And I'm like, all right, it's like all these fish. One's red, one's blue, yada, yada, yada. And then out of nowhere, he just puts his hand in his mouth, and he pulls out a tooth like a fucking maniac. And I'm looking at him rhyming Dr. Seuss, and I'm like hop on pop, and like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What? No! And I have to, like, at this moment, I'm not thinking like, oh wow, he just lost a baby tooth. I'm just thinking, holy shit, you don't like books that much? You just rip a tooth out of your fucking head? And he's just holding this baby tooth, looking up at me, and my immediate reaction is, you're a fucking maniac! I yelled this aloud to an 8-year-old boy, and he just immediately starts weeping. Alright, and here's the problem with this. When kids rip teeth out of their heads, they're bleeding. And if you're yelling at a child when he's bleeding, the immediate reaction is, you hit that kid. So everybody in the room thinks I struck this child, which, by the way, what's the deal with that these days, right? That's kind of stupid, right? Like, when I was a kid, the rationale to me of why you should hit kids is like, why are their faces shaped like that if not to hit them? You know what I mean? Like, I was a big kid. My mother would always look at me like, listen, I'm going to stop slapping you the minute I can feel a cheekbone. Right? That was her first clue that a hand was going to fly back. You know, I was hit so much as a kid that I thought Rocky was Father of the Year. I thought that was just some shit that you did until somebody figured it out. Now I know that I've got some pretty good shit for my memoir, and maybe I wasn't parented very well. Man. But you know, my mother, she did a pretty good job. You know who didn't do a good job? My father. Any lousy fathers in the audience? Anybody here anybody who's here but should probably be somewhere else being a father? I didn't get to see my father a lot growing up, but he fucked up my street cred, because while other kids would just be like, God damn, I never knew my father. Fucking hell. I'd be like, yeah, my dad calls a lot. He just has my number, and he's calling me every day. And like, that just fucked up my street cred. And the bullshit about it is that when my father called me, he would call and tell me about all the shit that he could do when because he wasn't being my father. Like, he'd call me like, kid, holy shit, you know what I did today? I went to a dog show. Have you ever been to a dog show? No, I'm kind of busy over here. Not getting child support. Like, dog shows are amazing. I got to pet this Dalmatian. I got to see all these Labradoodles, all these goddamn schnauzers. It's wonderful. What are you up to? I don't know. Teaching myself how to shave. Not crying when I hear cats in the cradle. Like a whole lot of shit. Man. I kid you not, I have no idea what it's like to have a father in your life. Kids will talk about it all the time, and I have no fucking idea. If I had to, what is it like? You just see an older man that fucked your mom, and you're just like, hey, you got a mustache. I don't know what that, like, do you guys touch dicks and then you're just like, I'm a man now? Like, is that how it works?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's that, you know what? Like, I'm glad I figured it out my own way. But you know, what's funny about that is like, my father didn't teach me how to shave. My mother did. And if you're going to learn how to shave, you're going to want a black woman to teach you how to do that, because they're amazing at it. Because the first thing they teach you about shaving is, you don't have to fucking shave. Right? What are they going to do? Call the cops? Fuck them. I'm a black woman on a weekday. I got to go to work. Alright? I look great. Alright? Fuck you. And you know, as you can tell, the lesson's stuck. Shave when I want. Thank you very much. Fucking hell. I was walking home this past Saturday morning, because my Friday night was pretty good. And I end up seeing, there's no transition to this joke, it's just going, it's going where it's going. And I end up seeing this unconscious woman on the sidewalk, just in front of me, and I see her, and I'm immediately upset. You know, not to sound too sentimental, but I've been a black man for a really long time. And when I was younger, the trap seemed a bit more complicated. You know, like, they bugged Dr. King, they had people follow Malcolm X. You're just gonna put some sleeping woman on the sidewalk in front of me? You're not gonna get me like that. I'm not gonna fall for this, Uncle Sam. I read books, I eat tuna. I'm a smart guy. What's gonna happen? Like, I happen to try and help her, and then bam, I'm in jail? I'm never gonna go to jail. I could never survive in jail. Can you imagine what going to jail is even like? You show up on your first day, there's like, welcome to prison. Business or pleasure? It's not. Business is my pleasure. That's a terrible joke. What could I even do in fucking jail? There's no gang I could join. Look at me. I'm a small person. I eat Luna bars and tuna. That's all I eat. I'm a tiny, tiny man. What gangs could I join? The only gang I could join in prison is the debate team, and they don't have debate in prison. Here's how arguments work in prison. Furthermore, he's dead. That's not civil discourse. God. So I walked over to my apartment like a smart black man should. 3 blocks later, her friends walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, have you seen our friend?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw her. She was about 3 blocks away from my alibi." You're not gonna get me, Uncle Sam. I'm not gonna fall for your traps. Oh, fuck. How much time do I have, Ski?
Negative 2.5 minutes.
You know what? That's good. Yeah. My name's Aron Woldeslassie. Thank you so much. Woo!